Oh look, there's gravel. Hi, welcome to the first episode of Buddy's Walking Show. So, this was inspired by my friends David Wright, who is a writer, really cool guy, really talented writer. And I guess a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, he started up a podcast called Walking Dave, because Dave is trying to get himself in shape, and he thought it would be a cool way to get some exercise. Walking is a fantastic exercise, in case you didn't know that. And also to share, his different thoughts on things, whether it's about his writing or about just life in general. And it's really, really cool, and actually 10 times cooler than what you're seeing right now. But hey, it's my first show, and a little self-conscious about walking down my street right now with holding this, because I'm going to just look like a crazy person. But then again, I don't even know my neighbors. A lot of times when people say that, it's because they just moved to an area, but I've been here a long time. I just generally don't like people. That's not true. I just kind of keep to myself. Most of the people around here keep to themselves, which is pretty cool. I kind of like it that way. And I kind of actually get annoyed if I'm out cutting my grass and someone walks by and they want to talk. It's not that I don't want to talk, but I'm in my groove. I'm doing something. And, boy, this is great viewing here, isn't it? But anyway, Dave's podcast is pretty cool, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Because, like Dave, I want to get in shape. I used to be very, very into walking. Used to do it a lot. I used to go every day for like an hour and a half a day. I had it at one point where I was walking. My goal was to walk 100 miles a month. So obviously I spent a lot of time walking. And at that time, I've never really been overweight. I usually gain weight just in my gut, but I look like I was 13 months pregnant, probably when I started walking then. And I lost a lot of weight. I think I lost close to 30 pounds in just a few months by walking so much and just being conscious of not always dining at Dunkin' Donuts and things like that, which is a fine establishment, as I'm sure you know. But kind of gotten away from the walking. My weight's not real high. I don't even know how much I weigh, to be honest with you. I think last time I checked, it's about 168. Kind of like 5'9", 5'10" tall, so really that's not too bad. But it's not even so much a thing of losing weight. It's more of just getting a little healthier. A lot of you probably know, if you've watched some of my other shows, that I am a smoker. And it's something I think about a lot. And I'll tell you, it's I know everyone says, you should quit. To be honest, I really don't want to quit. I really enjoy smoking, but I know that it's something I'm going to need to do soon. And for many reasons, not the least of which is the fact that my dad was a smoker. And unfortunately, in the last several years of my dad's life, he had a lot of health problems. It was from mostly heart-related. And although that wasn't all brought on from smoking, I know a good chunk of it was. And, you got to watch that stuff. I know that heart problems can be hereditary, and I'm not too far behind the age my dad was when he had his first heart attack. So that's got me thinking about getting healthier. Also, besides the whole health aspect, walking is a great way to burn off stress. Thankfully, I don't have a lot of stress in my life. But like anybody, it's there. Whether it's work or personal things, you're going to have that with you. So Dave inspired this show, partially inspired it. And there's another guy, I don't even know the guy's last name, but it's this guy named Rob. And Rob, if you're watching, then hey, what's up? It's called the Walking Rob podcast. Rob just started it just about a week ago. The date today is, I don't even know what it is. It's April 20-something on a Saturday. So it's like the Saturday after Easter. I don't know, I think it's like the 25th or 26th. Anyway, Buddy's Rambling. Welcome to the Buddy's Rambling Walking Show. He started up about a week ago. I think he's done about 5 or 6 shows so far, and that's kind of cool. What's really cool about Rob is Rob's trying to get his act together too in a lot of ways, and part of it is that he's addicted to marijuana, or he was. He figures that walking is a good way to get himself doing something healthier, something more productive and better for him. So good for you, Rob. So right now I've just walked block or so far. I think I'm going to do just about a mile this first walk, see how it goes. Haven't been walking in quite some time. See, it really does feel kind of weird walking around like this, holding my camera up. But the way people talk on phones all the time and things like that, no one's going to think I'm too crazy. So anyway, my name is Buddy Gott. If you're watching this, there's a good chance that you watch Buddy's writing show, which is also on this YouTube channel, assuming I decide to actually upload this thing. Right now I think my girlfriend's probably the only one that would be interested in it. Okay, we're going to try it like that, okay, and see how bizarre that looks. We'll try a couple different angles here. But Buddy's writing show I've been doing since October of last year, which would be 2013. And I love doing that show. If you've never seen it, basically I interview a different writer each week. It's supposed to be each week. It started out each week, but it's hard to do it every week. I work in a retail job, and my hours change, not just from day to day, but from week to week. So I never really know what my schedule's going to be until a week or so out. So it's really hard to have that on a set night. And when you're interviewing writers, or anyone, I would imagine, you got to work around their schedules as well. So a lot of weeks I've had things lined up, and just for one reason or another, we couldn't get our schedules on the same page. I'm not going to make a joke there about same page and writing, and I guess I kind of did, didn't I? So I really enjoy doing that show. I've got a couple shows coming up on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be talking with Sean Platt, Johnny B. Truant, and I'm not sure if David Wright's going to join us for that one or not. But basically, if you don't know who they are, those guys host the self-publishing podcast, which can be found here on YouTube, or you can go to their website at selfpublishingpodcast.com. And they're 3 fiction writers who've had great success in the past couple years with all kinds of books. Sean and David write together as Collective Inkwell. They do primarily dark horror stories. And then Sean and Johnny B work together as Realm and Sands, and they go all over the place with their genres. If you never checked them out, definitely check them out. Got this great series called Unicorn Western. Got another one called The Beam. And you got a lot of things out there. I think Johnny had recently said that in 2013 his name was on 50 different books. Now that includes different compilations, that sort of thing. Different, because they've grouped some of their books together, like Unicorn Western. Like you could buy it like in a bundle of 3 or a bundle of 5, bundle of 9. But anyway, you look at it, you get to 50. That's pretty damned impressive. These guys were kicking out like a book or so a week for a while. Okay, I've just hit the half-mile point. That's where I started. So, I'm going to turn around now and walk back. And, so yeah, the reason I want to have those guys on the show, because they've got a great project out now called Fiction Unboxed that they just started. Most of you are probably aware of what that is already, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But basically, they started up a Kickstarter fund where they got funding from their readers and others who don't even know them about, basically to fund the writing of their next book. But it's not just a matter of, hey, pay us to write a book. What's really cool is they've got all these incentives for people who contribute to the project, where you can get, you get your name in the book, even for like a minimum pledge of $1, you get that. get a copy of that, and you get copies of all their meetings regarding the book, different like payment contributions that you make. You could actually be involved with the writing of the book to a degree. It's really cool. Anyway, they're going to be on the show on Tuesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know what? I'm just kind of surprised. I'm actually like a little tired out already, and that's crazy because it hasn't even been, it's just over a half a mile. Then again, I have not been exercising at all lately, and had probably not the healthiest dinner in the world. Had 3 hot dogs, and this great store near me actually had their Easter candy on sale, 75% off. You can get those great deals right now on stuff like that. So I had like one of those really, really big peanut butter eggs. I mean, we're talking like big, really big peanut butter egg. And probably not the healthiest dessert after 3 hot dogs, which were delicious. But besides that too, I was talking about the smoking. I've been smoking entirely too much lately. I'm smoking like a pack and a half a day, which is ludicrous. And it's not that I'm smoking because I'm like really stressed out or anything. I'm just seem to be smoking a lot. And it's easy to do. If you're a smoker, you know that. And this is something at the very least, I want to cut down on it now. And just by doing this, I know I'm going to cut down on it. So that's how it worked for me before when I was writing. Get into the habit of walking. You even just do it a handful of times where it gets to become a habit and a routine for you. You're going to be feeling better. And naturally, that's going to make you start living better in other ways. And that's the plan for me. So I had mentioned Buddy's writing show. I'm also going to have a writer on named Stacy Claflin. Kind of excited about having Stacy on. I only know Stacy a little bit from some of the different writing shows that we are both sort of regulars for. Not that we're on them, but it's great on these writing shows. And if anyone's watching this, I know it's some of my friends from these groups. Got a lot of the same regulars who show up like in the live comments for these shows, and I've actually developed like this quite cool community around that. One of my friends is Patrick Stemp. If you're watching Patrick, then hey, what's up? Patrick actually just formed a group on Google Plus for Friends of the Self-Publishing Podcast. And I don't know how many members he's already got. I think it's like 40-some members, but it's kind of cool. Another place for us all to get together and just hang out and talk. So, maybe I should talk about something other than writing. And that is, I don't know. Guess I'll have to plan these things out beforehand. I mentioned it's a Saturday. Walking through Divine Development. It's in Newcastle, Delaware. Name of the development is Llangollen Estates. And it's weird. I have no idea who Llangollen was, but it's like Llango. There might even be 2 G's in there. Olin Estates. It's a ridiculous name, but it's a nice, quiet development. There's a car. Didn't hit me. That's a plus. A little concerned about that. I'll be honest with you, I'm really not crazy about walking here. Mainly because I like walking in parks. A couple different parks I'm going to be doing the show from. And it's a nice, quiet development. Not a lot of cars go by, obviously, but you do get your cars, and you do get your, I was going to say docking barks, but your barking dogs. And, it takes away from it. I like going to parks, though. Parks are nice. Go to this one. And, when I'm doing a show like this, I don't want to hear about somebody cutting their grass, either. I mean, hats off to you over there, fella. You're doing a good job. Actually, I'm not going to show a shot, but he's really not doing a good job. It's really uneven in patches. I don't particularly like that guy anyway. He sits outside with his beer drinking buddies, which is fine, but seems like trouble, I don't need that here in Llangollen Estates now, do I? So, it's getting a little dark. I meant to do this earlier. I was trying to figure out the best way to do it. I was I tested it a couple times with my phone, and the picture wasn't too great on there. Then I remembered that I have this camera I barely use it. Had it for like a year and a half. I think I've used it maybe a half dozen times. But I remember it had video on here and that the video was pretty good, so I tried that out. And oh man, it was a mother trying to get it like set up on my computer. I did a couple little test videos. Then I had to like go to Kodak's thing to like download the right software for this computer. And somehow by doing that, I like changed around like all my Google Plus settings, and it was just a pain in my ass. Now I'm gonna be like coming back to my street and see these 3 little kids I walked by when I first started out. They already looked at me like I was nuts. And when they see me doing this, they're probably gonna think even more of that. Yeah, there's good English. Yeah, I'm a writer, by the way. Gonna have my first book out in June. And I'm smiling right now because I'm reluctant to even say that. Like, I think every month this year I've said, oh yeah, it's coming out next month, or it's coming out in 2 months. And well, obviously that hasn't happened yet for varying reasons. But it's been a really good year for me so far. You can easily get distracted by things. And unfortunately, a lot of times they're bad things. But I've had like the best distraction ever this year, and that's that I've fallen in love. I met a wonderful, wonderful lady named Lisa. Kind of knew each other for a year or so because we were, again, she's a writer, and we belonged to a couple of the same writing groups, and I think I followed her on Facebook, Twitter, so I would see her postings. She would see mine occasionally. But I went and I got one of her books back in January. I really enjoyed it. It's a compilation, an anthology of her poetry and short stories. And I always thought she was pretty, and I always thought she was cool from her postings, but, you know, I read the book and I was really knocked out by her writing, really good, and very moving stuff. Some of it, you know, not so happy, and you get to feel for the characters. Not the kind of thing I normally read. I am getting a little out of breath here. I'm going to really start exercising a little better than I do. But I sent Lisa an email and just telling her how much I liked her book. And we really hadn't interacted, even though we were, you know, like I said, in the same circles. And I think I mentioned in there that I had a writing show, and I asked her if maybe she wanted to come on sometime. Sent her a link to one of the videos. And thankfully, she watched and she really enjoyed it, and that led us into further dialogue. And next thing you know, we were just talking all the time, laughing all the time, and it's been absolutely wonderful. So, Lisa, if you're watching, you might probably be the only one watching. I think you're fantastic. So, I'm going to be coming to the end of this. And I'm going to try posting it. We'll see how it looks. And, boy, we should play a game. Like, how many and-us did Buddy say in this? Then I have to go in and, Carl Sinclair. Need to mention Carl Sinclair because Carl Sinclair is a writer friend of mine, and he likes his name mentioned in, you know, as much as possible in every possible forum. So, Carl Sinclair, I'm mentioning you on the first episode of Walking Buddy. I'm going to be doing Carl's got something silly. Not silly. Well, it is silly, but it's cool. He started up this new project, and I got to go contribute to that in my own special way. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just wrapping up 1 mile right now. So I thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to come up with different topics for this. You know, the main thing, like I said, the main reason for this is to get myself healthier, and I think it might be kind of cool to, you know, pick different subjects to talk about while I'm walking, share them with you, and maybe we can have some interactions in the comments. But, you know, I wish all of you a good rest of weekend, or rest of night, or rest of whatever, you know, whenever it is you happen to be watching this. So, again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you the next time. Join me on Buddy's Writing Show this week, and Sunday Night Fiction Club with me and Melissa Lamas. See ya.